It's like two.
People are saying Parker's live. I think or Parker Raid. I think Parker's still live. So, but if you're here, I appreciate you being here. Listen, aside from all that, aside from the checklist, it's good to see you all. I hope you're all having an amazing start to your week, an amazing Monday. Again, we just started the live, so if you're just here, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. But of course, you guys know what we're doing here this evening. If you've been here before, you know exactly what's going on. If you voted for Donald Trump, if you are a Republican, if you are a conservative, if you don't like Joe Biden, if you don't like Kamala Harris, if you don't like, I don't know, just the Democratic Party generally, come on up and tell me why. Come on up and tell me why. Tell me why you like Donald Trump. How is it possible? How on earth are you seeing how terrible his transition is going, and you're still voting for Donald Trump? His transition team is terrible. Anyway, let's see what we got. Let's see who we can get up here. Let's see who we can get up here. User, buddy, I think you've been up here before, my man. You got to be above the age of 18, and you are not. So you cannot come up here. They are. Thanks for the boxing gloves. I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. Again, you can request up in the box if you want to, or just type MAGA in the chat, and I'll bring you up, and we can go from there. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. All right. Let's bring up Brandon. Let's give Brandon a chance. Mara says she voted for RFK. Unsurprising, quite frankly, if you know her. Just, makes sense. Brandon, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
19.
Yeah, okay, all right. Why'd you vote for Donald Trump?
So, I actually didn't. I voted for Kamala Harris, but I wanted to get your input on a couple of things, if that's okay with you.
Sure. I mean, we can make it quick, but I just want to make, I'm trying to talk to Trump supporters. But yes, I can definitely be quick for sure.
I understand. So, you know how Donald Trump's been ranting for months about his drill baby drill slogan?
Yeah.
How do you feel? So we're drilling more right now than any other point in American history. And I live in a very Republican state. I live in Idaho. I've tried to educate like my friends on it, because they tend to be extremely MAGA, and like they just can't accept that fact. So like, what do you tend to think like when you see like things like that?
Well, you just go to the Energy Information Administration.gov, the website, and show them the data that we have. If they look at the end of the day, if they don't want to believe the data from the federal government on our drilling and our oil production, then they're just too far gone,
I know. So that was it. I'll get out of your life for you so you can debate MAGA.
No, you're good, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here, man. Have a good one.
Of course. Right? I'll always support you, Harry.
Thank you, Brandon. Have a good one. Appreciate you, man. We have another person coming up. I don't even mean to add this person, but they're coming up. Oh, I don't think they are, actually. I think they literally every MAGA ever. Yeah, exactly. Drop this guy. I don't think they're coming up. Again, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I will bring you up. We can talk. Let's bring up Vlad. Vlad, I think he was saying he's MAGA just a moment ago. Let's see. Let's see if he... What's up, man? Hello, are you MAGA?
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So Trump is not terrible.
Okay. Why do you say that? Why do you think he's not terrible?
Because he's one of the greatest storytellers in the planet. His story, the one he told, won the election. He painted the immigrants as the evil within, and no Democrat was able to debunk that. And that's the reason that he's still, actually the MAGA people we're still painting immigrants as evil, and nobody's debunking it. I don't see you debunking that thing. I don't see anybody, not you or any of the other kids that are doing all this crap, are debunking the fact that
hey, when you say that they're
Trump
evil, what do you mean by that? By what metric?
What metric?
Yeah.
I mean,
like what do immigrants do that are so evil, buddy?
Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's a lie.
What?
Because the story still is a winning story.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Please tell me how immigrants are evil, or like what's the compelling argument there?
It doesn't matter if the story is not true.
Oh, so did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, But it doesn't matter if the story is not true.
So Donald Trump can lie straight to your face and you don't care.
He lies straight on the face of everybody.
Yeah, and you would agree that that's bad, or no? You think that's okay?
But if it became a winning part of the story.
That's not what I'm asking you. Is it okay to lie to the people's faces?
Well, whenever you go to a theater, you are seeing a movie and people are telling a story.
That's fiction. That's fiction. It's not real life.
So what he's doing is fiction too.
No. What planet are you living on? He's running for president of the United. No. You're living in MAGA land. You're living in MAGA land. You've traveled there. You've traveled there. No, you're not living. No, excuse me. Be quiet. You're not living in real life. You're comparing. No. Excuse me. I'll mute you if I have to. Just be quiet. Be quiet.
I'm excusing you.
No. Excuse me. Just be quiet. I can promise nobody wants to hear you speak right now. Just be quiet. You're comparing a movie, which is fiction, a fictional story for entertainment, to somebody running for the presidency, which is certainly not fiction. It says real world consequences. What's wrong with you? What's the screw loose that you can't see how these are two different things? And the fact that you just made a comparison there is, my God. All right, let's unmute this guy. Vlad, you're muted, buddy. You have to unmute now. Come on. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna. I'll give you 15 seconds. If you can't figure out how to unmute, you gotta click your little profile picture. There you go. Good job.
Okay. So during his presidency, the U.S. experienced significant economic growth before the COVID-19
Can you answer what I just said, please?
I'm sorry?
Can you answer what I just said, please?
About what?
You compared a movie and a fictional story to Donald Trump running for president, which is certainly not fiction and has real-world consequences. So how is it okay to lie? How is it okay for Donald Trump to lie to every single American and paint immigrants as evil when immigrants, the overwhelming majority of immigrants, are not evil?
I think whatever he said, there is a purpose and everything. He's not the president elected right now because it's an accident. The accident would be that he does not become president, because all these people that are following, all the MAGA people that follow Donald Trump, they wanted him to be president. Okay.
What are you saying? You're not saying anything. You're just speaking for the sake of speaking at this point. You're not saying anything. So do you have a coherent argument to make here? Please justify Donald Trump lying. Please justify Donald Trump demonizing an entire group of people just for electoral success. Please.
It's a part of the story. He was telling a story, and he was very competent into
telling a story. You're confusing definitions here. Telling a story in the context of what you're saying is just lying. He just lied. You're covering it up by saying, "Oh, he told a story." No. He just lied.
Are you telling me that politicians don't lie?
No, I'm not saying that politicians don't lie. Every single person on earth has lied at one point in their lives. The difference is Donald Trump is a pathological liar. He told over 30,000 lies during his presidency, averaging out to around 20 a day for 4 years straight. 20 lies every single day. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. I don't think that a good leader lies to their people all the damn time. Whereas you are sitting up here saying, yeah, Donald Trump lying and demonizing immigrants is just part of this so-called story that apparently you've found Donald Trump to be telling.
No, he's not the only one telling that story. That's the thing. The story became something bigger than anything, and he's not the only one telling the story. There's a bunch of congressmen and senators telling the same lie.
Okay, so if a bunch of people lie, it makes it okay?
Okay, so
Crypto guy. What the hell's going on in the
I'm
background?
trying to prove you that he's not terrible on everything.
I think lying is pretty terrible. I don't know how you could
Well,
possibly make
it is terrible. Everybody lies. You lie too. So are you terrible?
Yeah. Of course, as I mentioned, everybody lies.
Okay,
But
so are you
you can
terrible?
acknowledge that if somebody lies like one time in their life,
You're not
that is
answering my
significantly
question.
different. That's
you
significantly
terrible?
different than somebody lying a million times during
Can
their
you
life,
answer my
right?
question? Are you terrible?
That's not my definition of terrible.
Oh, so
I'm not just
you
saying
lie, right?
No, I'm not saying if you lie once in your life, you're automatically
Do you
terrible.
lie? Have you lied just once in your life?
No, I'm not, you can lie like I don't know what the average is that somebody lies, but the point is like if you just lie in your life, you tell white lies.
Everybody
It
lies.
doesn't mean that you're a terrible person. When it comes to can you be quiet for 5 seconds?
Sure.
When it comes to Donald Trump, if you're lying about things like immigrants, about U.S. trade policy, about elections, about criminal cases, about the Department of Justice, about the FBI, about the CIA, from positions of power with remarkable influence, and also factoring in everything else that Donald Trump has done, yes, I think I think he's terrible. Absolutely.
Well, everybody that lies is terrible, right?
No.
Just him.
No, that's not even. Did you just listen to what I just said?
Oh yeah, I did.
So listen to me very carefully. Like
Okay.
maybe I can break this down better. Right? Everybody lies. No doubt that everybody in their life has lied at least once, no matter what the lie is. Okay, percent going up and the bottom of 50% going down under Reagan. And from then, the trend just continued because a lot of this tax policy stayed in place. Now, this is tax policy that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Obama all tried and wanted to get rid of. But when you have Congress and you don't have a filibuster-proof majority, and for much of your term, you don't have both chambers, it's incredibly difficult to get policy like that passed. So what Kamala Harris wanted to do was tax the wealthy more, especially the ultra wealthy, those with over $100 million in net worth, to lessen that income inequality and use that money to invest in crucial programs, invest in schools, invest in infrastructure, invest in healthcare, invest in jobs and manufacturing, things like that. Donald Trump, on the other hand, just said, yeah, let's give the wealthy some tax cuts again. There's footage of him at Mar-a-Lago talking to his wealthy buddies saying, I'm going to make you a lot richer. We're going to give you another tax cut. And you voted for him anyway.
Yes, because you're not seeing the big picture. You are not seeing all the bad things that these other people did. I mean, the economic recovery was benefited the wealthier individuals when Obama was president, and those stimulus measures that he did.
This is bonkers.
I mean, they were
really,
insufficient.
because the corporate tax rate under Obama was 35% and Trump lowered it to 21%. You think the corporate tax rate is affecting middle income Americans?
And the one thing that okay, he
Do you think that the lowering of the estate tax helps middle income Americans?
He had the best intentions.
No.
Right?
Just please answer the question. Do you think
Sure.
that lowering the estate tax helps middle income Americans or wealthy Americans?
Wealthy Americans.
Okay. So under Obama, the estate tax was much higher. Under Donald Trump, and the corporate tax rate was much higher. Under Donald Trump, he lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. He lowered the estate tax, lowered a bunch of different taxes specifically for wealthy people, taxes that only really apply to wealthy people. And you're telling me that's the Democrats that are hurting the American people with furthering economic inequality? I need you to do some more reading and research. If this is what you describe as the real evil, then you need to, number one, read more about this. And number two, don't justify Donald Trump's lies by saying he's telling a story. That makes no goddamn sense.
He's telling a story. He was telling the story that he needed to tell for him to win.
Oh my God.
He villainized somebody. He needed a villain so he could be a hero. And that's what happened. I mean, get over it. He won the election. If he was so fucking terrible, he wouldn't have won the election.
No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that.
No, that's the case.
I don't think that.
Oh yeah, he won the election.
No, it's not. It's perfect. It's perfectly possible for somebody who's terrible to win the presidency.
Oh really? Yeah.
America's elected terrible people before.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Oh my God! And the one thing that happens is like for actually the income inequality to change, the laws have to be changed. the laws have to be changed.
So please tell me what Donald Trump is proposing to lessen income inequality that made you want to vote for him.
Okay. There is a lesson to be learned.
No.
Yeah.
No. What's the policy that Donald Trump is proposing to lower income inequality that made you want to vote for him?
All right, I have to go, man. You take care. Bye.
Yeah. No. You can't leave like. No. No way. He just left like that, dude. No way. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, that's too funny. That guy was like, yeah. Oh my God, that's too funny. My God. Crypto guy, hello, are you there? Oh my God. Yo, Audrey, thanks for the $1. I don't think life like under Trump. I don't think I'm gonna like life under Trump, but I would love Audrey. See, I caught it early. I cannot read that out on live, Audrey. I appreciate you. Ali, thanks for the $5. Flirting with you every day till you fall madly in love with me. Looking extra gorgeous today. I need you. I can't read that out either, Ali. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody that's coming from Parker's Live as well. I appreciate all of you. Jenna, thanks for the $1.43. You got to start kicking dummies. You're right, Jenna. I could have got that guy out. Kalia, thanks for the $1. You're amazing. Hope your day has gone well. You too. I appreciate you. Shout out everybody that's coming from Parker's Live. I appreciate all of you. Is he here? I'm not sure if he's come over yet. Excuse me. He's not here yet. But when he does, maybe mods, you can add him up if you see him. If not, I'll throw him up here. Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio if you want to support the live. Also, Marina, thanks. I'm going to call you Kate. Thanks for the subscription. I appreciate you. Drop a follow if you haven't already. Keep double tapping the screen. Let's try to get to 200,000 likes. All the good stuff. All right, man. Why are you MAGA?
Hey, can you hear me, Harry?
Yes, I can. Are you driving?
No, I'm at work right now, but that's just the building making the noise. But that Vlad guy, he was a little off the hook, wasn't he?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
But didn't Biden say he was going to forgive everybody's student loans?
Have I talked to you before or no?
Nope, I haven't been up.
Gotcha. Yeah, Biden made he talked. Well, he did. First of all, he never said he was going to forgive. What's up, Parker? He never said he was going to forgive everybody's student loans. On the campaign trail when he was running in 2020, he was talking about forgiving up to $10,000 in student loans. Then, when he became president of the United States, he signed an executive order using the HEROES Act, which was a law passed under Bush, to have $10,000 in student loan forgiveness for certain people, and then up to $20,000 in forgiveness for Pell Grant recipients. The Republicans, or some Republicans across the country, challenged that law, saying that Biden couldn't. There were two cases at the Supreme Court. One was struck down because it didn't have standing. The other was approved by the Supreme Court, saying that President Biden did not have the ability to forgive that much in student loans on his own authority, that he had to go through Congress. And so the law was struck down because of Republicans who took it to the Supreme Court. So Biden tried to make good on this promise, but Republicans shot it down. But the good news is that Biden still has forgiven more student loan debt than any president before in American history.
Right, but it's pretty much next as compared to the amount of student loan debt. The amount that's gotten forgiven is pretty much zero, practically. It's like
it's in the hundreds of billions,
maybe 2%.
No, it's not 2%. It's in the hundreds of billions that have been forgiven, which is for a lot of people very, very significant.
But how much student loan debt is there though?
Something in the trillions. I think it's like 1.7 trillion last time I looked.
That's right. So hundreds of billions to.
Yeah, I mean, do you not recognize that, like, if you forgive like $150 billion in student loans, that's still going to impact a lot of people, right?
I mean, yeah, but that's where he got a lot of votes based off that one policy that one thing that he was going to do was forgive his votes. It kind of, I've heard you talk about, and a lot of people like myself want the no tax on overtime, but it's kind of like, it's almost like the student loan forgiveness thing. It's probably not going to happen.
Also another thing is that like Project 2025 literally says they want to get rid of overtime. So of course there'll be no tax on overtime if there is no overtime.
I've seen a bunch of different little videos about that. I don't understand how some places can't run without running overtime. Like where I work at, There's no way they could. Yeah, there's. Like, is there, maybe you guys can educate me because you guys know a whole lot more than I do, obviously. I work 60 hours a week. I don't have time to look all this stuff up. But is it like a 2-week period? Like if you work 30 hours one week and you work 50 hours the next week, that 10 hours overtime on the 50-hour week doesn't count as overtime.
I think it would count as, it definitely counts as overtime, at least to my knowledge, depending. I think it depends on where you are in terms of your business, whatever employer.
But something to do with that no tax on overtime.
I think it does because the overtime is predicated off of like the day or the week. I think it's predicated off of week. My bad. For at least a lot of businesses.
Right. I don't know, man. I'm just now getting off work. I'm kind of stumped at the moment.
It's okay.
I'm going to come up again because I'm getting ready. I'm walking in my car now. I got to drive home. I'm not going to talk to you while I'm driving. But if I come up again, don't tell your monitors not to kick me off.
Monitors?
And,
gotcha.
Or whoever you got doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Will do. All right, man. We'll try to accept you if we see you again, all right?
Cool.
Thanks, man. Lindsay, thanks for the $5. Taming Insanity. It's not fun, Lindsay. It's not fun. And Sarah, thanks for the $1. No, they don't, Sarah. No, they don't, to answer your question. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I will bring you up. Somebody says bring up Jason. I don't see a Jason in here, but happy to talk to him, of course.
Everyone tap that screen. Get to 500,000 likes. Share love as well. If you want to support me or Harry, pay links are in the link trees in our bio.
Harry.
Make sure. Yeah, 1 second. Drop a follow for Parker. Drop a follow for me up there. We do these lives all the time. Parker's live all day, every day, different topics as well. And as Parker said, do we not say the V and C anymore?
Oh, you can. You can.
Okay. You know more about that than I do.
I just say that just because I just got used to it. Push the endorse.
Venmo, Cash App, and the link in the bio for both Parker and I if you want to support the live. And yeah, of course, double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 300,000 likes. All right, Dan, what can I do for you, man? Why'd you go for
Harry,
that?
how are you, bud? No, I just wanted to tell you I'm completely aligned with you politically. I think that the fallacy that the American populace had when they voted Trump in is they thought, obviously one of the dominant concerns was inflationary cycle, and people, unfortunately, the grand majority of the American population doesn't understand rudimentary macroeconomics, and the fact is that the rate of inflation can be tempered and go down, but prices themselves, if we go into a deflationary cycle, that'll be catastrophic. That'll essentially put us back where Japan was in '94. So, the people voted for him under the premise that prices will go down. No, prices won't go down. The rate of inflation will go down, and it's already being tempered as it is just by virtue of open markets and capitalism right now.
Right.
It's just to me it's just a nonsensical argument that just unfortunately he was so good at pulling the wool over people's eyes that it's I don't know. To me it's just baffling that he had such a magnanimous following, that was just, so I follow you religiously. I think you and I, you articulate a lot of my thoughts to my right-wing counterparts, and I'm just trying to, and I've mirrored a lot of what you said, and I'm just mystified at this guy who's been a tyrannical despot for his entire life, that he's able to, essentially pull the wool over people's eyes and be duplicitous, and it just gets me, man.
Yeah, no, Dan, I'm as you know, I'm 100% there with you. So listen, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you supporting. Glad that, you've been able to combat some of your right-wing friends, and I appreciate it, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish you the best. Continue to evangelize what you're doing, and It's cool you got a chance to even meet Biden before. I got to see even before the senility kicked in a little bit. I mean,
no,
love the guy.
There is none. There is none. I'm a firm defender of this guy. Anyway, we'll leave that.
No, I'm with you.
The DNC checks come in for, okay?
Absolutely.
What they pay us for. No, I'm joking.
Good meeting you, Harry. Take care, bud.
Thank you, Dan. Have a good one. I appreciate it,
You too, man. Okay, thanks.
Nice guy. All right, what's up, Justin? Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir.
What a disaster. How old are you?
I'm 24.
And you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, first time I've ever voted, actually.
Do you regret it yet or no?
No, not. I mean, nothing's really happened too much yet. I'm going to let it ride out a little bit. See what.
I don't know. I think quite a bit has happened. Donald Trump selected Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Thank God he's so far dropped out of that. But when he did, Matt Gaetz was someone who's been credibly accused of doing inappropriate things with 2 minors and also paying women for intercourse. He selected him to be Attorney General of the United States. That doesn't strike me as good judgment. Donald Trump has also already threatened countries like Canada, Mexico, and China, some of our biggest partners, actually our top 3 biggest trading partners, with tariffs, 25% on Canada and Mexico and 10% additional on China. And, we've scandal after scandal already with some of Trump's picks, like Hegseth for Department of Defense Secretary, who has, allegations of SA, allegations of alcohol abuse, things like that. It's terrible.
Well, so does Kamala, but let me ask you something.
Wait, hold on.
Dude,
wait, what are you saying?
By the way, but like, what?
First of all, it's Kamala. Can you give us what are the allegations against her?
That she's always drunk. But let me.
Wait. And what, you can't just go that she's always this and then go, well, what's your evidence?
What's your evidence that guy's a alcoholic?
No, please provide. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to talk about the different articles that have come out. Great. So I'm happy to talk about the different articles that have come out citing different Fox executives saying that they smelled alcohol in the breath of Pete Hegseth, and that he's even talked about his alcohol consumption on set at Fox News when he worked there. That people would walk into his changing room at Fox and find beers in the trash can at like 10 in the morning. That he had to be removed from certain events. From certain events that he was at when he was leading a veterans organization in 2016 because of his intoxication. That when he was so under the influence of alcohol at one point that when they were at an adult club in Florida, I believe it was, he tried to get up on the stage and dance with the women and then had to be removed from the club. So there's a number of different examples of people talking about this. Now, please, what is your evidence that Kamala Harris has done any of that?
Nothing. I don't have any evidence that she's done those exact.
I'm not talking to those exact things. I'm just talking generally.
Okay. Well, I was just answering the question, but you can tell when somebody is a little intoxicated, when they feel a little woozy, when they feel a little happy, and there's definitely enough footage that you can watch Kamala Harris where
Kamala.
I don't really care.
That's definitely not true. You're definitely wrong, buddy. But even if it were true, who the fuck cares, dude? Seriously, dude. Like,
what do you mean? Who the fuck cares?
Who the fuck cares, dude? If I go on a public platform right now and I'm drinking a Truly, like, is it wrong? Is it wrong? I'm on a public platform. Is it wrong for me to get drunk?
Depends. I mean,
depends on fucking what, dude?
Depends on what you're doing while you're drunk. But anyway.
So just to be clear, you don't actually have any evidence that Kamala Harris abuses any substance, yes?
No.
Because I have literally nothing to back this up.
I am under the influence of life, brother. That is what I'm under the influence of. It's like
holy cringe.
I can tell you, we're on the influence of a little bit more than just life. Don't worry. But like the question's remains very, very clear. What's wrong with her getting drunk? Even if it were true, what the fuck is wrong with it? Getting drunk once does not mean you're an alcoholic.
I didn't really. I was just throwing a jab. That's not what I wanted to get into here.
Okay, well, I'll throw a jab back. Trump was held civilly liable of sexually abusing women. He tried to coup the country. He tried to restrict women's access to abortion. He literally denies science, saying the climate is going to start cooling. Science just doesn't know it yet. He bragged about walking in changing rooms of naked teenage girls because he quote-unquote owns the place, and bragged about grabbing women by the vagina without asking. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. Might I keep going?
No, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about Biden pardoning his son after...
Great. I feel great. I feel great about it.
I personally, I would do it too. 100%. The only thing that I not even upset about, what I can't wrap my head around, is how many times he said he wasn't going to, and how many times other people also said that he wasn't going to. Do you feel duped at all that he said one thing and then did the other, which I know a lot of politicians do?
No. You know what? You know what likely happened? We can't say for certain, obviously.
No,
but you know what likely happened?
can't.
Biden changed his mind because dynamics changed. The landscape changed. Donald Trump got elected, and then Donald Trump nominated someone by the name of Kash Patel to be the next FBI director. And Kash Patel has openly said that he wants to go after Donald Trump's political enemies and jail them. So Joe Biden sees this. He sees that Hunter Biden has been made this target for the Republican Party and says, well, why wouldn't I pardon him? Why would I make my son for the next however many years the continuous target for the Republican Party? Let's just pardon him. So I think Biden's mind changed. I think people's minds changed.
Sure. Well, I'd pardon my son 10 times out of 10, 100%.
I definitely wouldn't. Like, there are definitely circumstances where you wouldn't,
yes,
pardon a child
for sure. But in Hunter Biden's case, if you want to smoke, if you want to smoke,
you can't say it on the live.
Did he say it?
Shit, sorry, buddy.
Oh darn! What a shame. You can't say it on the live. You have to leave now. Goodbye. I have no problem with him leaving anyway. He was.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's rough. Jay, thanks for the $3. I appreciate you. That's very kind. And Jody, thanks for the $5 as well. Project 2025 allows them to change overtime to be based off of hours worked over 2 weeks. It also allows them to choose the hours that are considered overtime. I believe that to be yeah, buddy, you can't say MAGA and have your profile picture be you and Gavin Newsom. I don't think that doesn't strike me as somebody who's MAGA. It strikes me as somebody that might be a Democrat secretly. Anyway, if you are MAGA, let us know in the chat. We'll bring you up and we can talk. And you can tell us why on earth you voted for Donald Trump. It makes absolutely no sense. It's very strange. Let's bring up this guy and see what he has to say. And give James an invite as well.
Hey, what's going on, boys? I saw some folks in the chat that were like, hey, James is here from the bath, but not here from the bathtub this evening. I'm sitting on the couch watching a little Monday Night Football. Parker, you remember me, buddy?
I do.
Good to see you again. Harry, good to meet you, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Harry, go get a life, bro.
Oh, look at this guy. And then look at this guy wants to chirp a little bit. Hey, buddy, why'd you vote for Donald Trump down there? Then we'll get to you, James. You right there.
All right.
I didn't vote.
Can you go ahead and mute me while you speak?
We need to put this topic to rest.
Excuse me. The next president of the United States, he leaves. What a coward. What a loser. Now, James, you can talk.
All right, I'm back, boys, hot and ready like a Caesar's pizza. So, here's the deal. I did vote for Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. And the reason being is I've been doing a little bit more research so I can sound a little more refined on the topics that you guys like to discuss up here. And the policies that he had in place, name one Trump policy, right? That's the next question that we like to ask. And the Trump policy that I really like was the veterans' choice for our military veterans to be able to choose and select their civilian provider if the one is not within reach through the VA, or if there's timely delays that would prevent them from being able to seek and receive care at their local VA. We have veterans traveling countless miles and hours to be able to receive care. And so that's something that resonates with me as a veteran and is close to my heart. And I think that's really good and worthwhile mentioning to you.
Well, then I'm so happy to let you know that Obama actually passed veterans' choice, not Trump.
So are you ready? I got one for you.
Please.
Trump made it permanent.
Yeah, so policy has to be renewed. But Trump renewed it. But
no,
choice
not
was
renewed it. Not renewed it. Made it permanent.
No, he did renew a veterans' choice. But Obama started it.
So you could say it's a good
Trump
policy, and I think that we would agree with you that it's a good policy.
We would agree.
And made it permanent.
We would just tell you this, James. Both sides support this policy, so it's not a distinction between the Republicans and Democrats. That would mean the Republicans are better. Yeah. So if they both agree on it, right? Well, then we probably wouldn't bring it up like that.
The PACT Act, done by this Biden administration, that increased access to care and treatment for our veterans, mostly the Vietnam War, but then so on, that were exposed to burn pits and the such expanding that to them, I can say that to my grandfather, that's offered him access to treatment and care. And that's something that, you know what, you got to reach across that aisle and shake a hand once in a while and say you can appreciate something about the other side. So I'm glad so far we're kind of seeing eye to eye. Another thing that I really appreciate about Uncle Donnie is the jobs whatchamacallit act.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That's right. So and you're talking about the federal taxes to major corporations drop from 35% down to 21%. And
do you want to know something crazy? The 35% was not a flat tax rate. It was a progressive tax system. So actually,
exactly, yes, sir.
For corporate income under $50,000, he actually increased taxes on that
rate
because he went from 15% under Obama to 21% under himself.
Parker, I'd really love a chance to speak on the point, bud.
I mean, I was just explaining the point.
He was kind of just responding to you.
So Parker, I'd like to be able to get more than 4 or 5 words out, please. So. That act, so it reduced it from 35 down to 21%, right? And it was a temporary fix. But what it did do, and a common thing that I've actually heard Parker mention, was Dean, is what has Trump done to help the lower and middle classes? And that act in particular allowed corporations to increase operations and hire specifically more minority groups and specifically African American workers. And
there was no specific incentive within the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that did.
It did not incentivize them.
Two, as it relates to this,
Parker,
right?
Parker, it did not incentivize them. You're correct. But where these were impacted mostly was it mostly impacted the auto industry in the great state of Michigan with the workers in Detroit, which is responsible for the most auto production in the entire United States. And that did incorporate mostly African Americans, and it reduced the rate of unemployment amongst minority groups to the lowest rate in the last 30 years.
No. So you're
yes, sir.
Can I respond to this, or do I need to mute you to respond?
Oh, Parker, the impulse control, as Dean likes to say. Go ahead.
What do you mean? I literally have been trying to speak this entire time. You've cut me off every single time I spoke. So
go for it, Parker.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act only added $10 billion to the annual GDP, and it engaged in $190 billion of debt-related spending every year. So $10 billion.
How many billion, please?
Whoa, I'm gonna mute you, dude.
Can you be quiet, please? Can you be quiet, please? Can you just shut the hell up?
James, I'll just mute you.
I need a pen just so I can remember what that number was, sir.
Go ahead, grab one.
Thank you.
Write it down, buddy. Grab a journal.
You don't have to interrupt him to grab a pen, by the way.
Grab the pen.
No, but what was the figure? I missed the.
Thank you. So specifically, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act added 0.04% to the annual GDP, which is $10 billion a year, and it added $190 billion of debt-related spending every year, according to the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, right? Which specifically means that it spent significantly more than it actually added to the GDP, and it added less than $2 billion to federal revenues.
Bangarang. May I?
Go ahead.
So great point. And sure, the impact was 10. One of the figures you gave me was 10 billion something per year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that act that we're tapping into and how it benefited corporations. And in my argument, it also benefited the real wages of minorities that worked within the auto industry, which is I believe is
you actually don't have evidence of that. You're just associating because it happened under the administration that there was a real wage increase, that it was because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Yet you have no evidence indicating that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act specifically did cause that. And evidence I do have from a liberal and conservative economist from Harvard indicates that actually the effect was very small, and the specific hyper specific impact that you're saying it has to help out minority communities, right? What you're not understanding is there's no evidence that indicates that. Absolutely fucking none.
So you agreed during that time period that it did help improve the wages of the individuals I mentioned previously, but you're saying that we cannot
very small, $10 billion of annual GDP growth for $190 billion of spending. That's terrible fucking economics. What do you think $10 billion? That's like getting $10 for spending 190.
I
If you
love
spend
you
$190 for $10
because I really got something for you. I got something for you. You're walking into it, sir. So tariffs. Know you love the tariffs. Know you love to define the tariffs. Go over the tariffs. Tariffs are inflationary. Yep. So the tariffs that we imposed on China and our friends across our borders here, they are inflationary, right? And it causes the goods that come in from those countries to increase. It's always your arguments that those tariffs, the cost is passed on to the consumer, right? Am I Yeah, thumbs up.
Yes,
Okay, I appreciate the. Okay, it's a dialogue. I like the communication when we ask each other questions. So, China. Part of the reason that was imposed against China. I'm not gonna ask a rhetorical question. I know you don't know the answer here. So, part of the reason that he did that was also due to intellectual property theft that China commits against American products, corporations, institutions, whether it's pharmaceuticals, technology, software engineering, all that stuff. Do you know the figure that economists and the State Department, what they placed on the cost of that intellectual property theft?
What?
$700 billion with a B dollars per year, good sir. $700 billion. Justify it. Go ahead. Bow down and kiss the Xi Jinping's ring.
This is the dumbest argument of all time, because Parker and I would both be in favor of very targeted tariffs.
Yeah,
Right.
But you guys have constantly, whenever people bring up that they support Trump's tariff policy, you guys have constantly been oppositions to it.
Dude, listen. I don't actually see how tariffs help with this. How the hell do tariffs help with this? How do they limit the property theft, the intellectual property theft? Please tell me.
So what it did was the U.S. and China actually at that same time, when we imposed those tariffs and the negotiations, the conversations and diplomacy that took place following that, there was an agreement that was made. Forgive me on the term of the name that it had, but I don't recall. But there was an agreement that China had come to terms and made, saying that they were not going to commit that intellectual property theft anymore on IPs.
That has nothing to do with the tariffs.
It's 700 with a B billion.
What does that have to do with the tariffs?
You keep saying the number. What does that have to do with tariffs?
Seriously,
it's forced compliance with our economic adversary.
Okay, so did you reduce the tariffs right after?
You tell me. You know the answer. Go ahead.
No, I'm asking you. Did because no, you're the one that knows about this. I don't know.
You said that it was temporary, so I'm trusting your word on that.
No, I'm asking you, was it temporary then?
No,
because you specifically were saying that it was meant to. It was okay. So then, which one was it? Which tariff specifically led to them doing this?
The tariffs on China.
Which tariff?
The specifics. I you know what? I gotta get better, sir. I gotta come bring the heat for you. You asked a very thought provoking question that I don't have the exact answer to.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, pardon me, sir. So great question. And then I have a question for you folks. I know that we're very much against Trump and his scandals of his past, as am I. I don't agree with everything that man has done. And I know a common case that's brought up is the E. Jean Carroll case. And I'll go on to say that I also believe that his appointment of 3 Supreme Court justices is a great thing for the Trump legacy and great for this Trump administration. Which dives us into issues like abortion and also the sexual abuse that is mentioned with E. Jean Carroll. But we only seem to care about it, and this isn't a whataboutism. I'm asking for an opinion on something here. We only seem to care about it when it applies to Mr. Uncle Donnie here. But when it comes to, what's her name? Ashley Biden in that diary and showering with her father, then we don't seem to raise a question
Diary's
whatsoever.
never been verified. So,
So-
those documents that you say that are online has never been verified to be Ashley Biden. The diary was like handed around from like the people that stole it to Rudy Giuliani to it was like Mar-a-Lago.
And
at one
I have
point.
a question
I mean,
for you.
It's all over the place. So it's never been verified.
It's never been
And
verified.
Even Ashley
Why would
Biden
they
herself.
Stolen it. It was stolen and sold to Project Veritas, which is the
Yeah,
right way of
seriously.
thinking.
And even
James
Ashley
O'Keefe.
Biden herself, when the people that were convicted of stealing the diary were having sentencing, and she was writing a letter to the court advocating for them to get the maximum sentence, was saying that this diary story generally has been used to diminish myself and members of my family. So even she's saying like, yeah, this is total crap.
It's total crap. She's upset that the diary got out and was leaked and was sold by Project Veritas and got into the hands of Mr. Giuliani. But are you disputing whether it is real and its contents are real?
Yeah, I'm disputing the contents. I'm
So
sure that Ashley Biden
why-
has a diary, but in terms of the contents, yeah, those contents have never been verified. Like,
Why
can you
was
tell
it
me who's
stolen?
verified them?
Why was it considered stolen, and why did they sue them for it?
Can you tell me who's verified? Because like the stealing of the diary and the documents that have been published online are two different things. The crime still exists that the diary was stolen, right? Whether the contents of the diary are real is an entirely different topic of conversation. So can you tell me who has verified the diary?
You know, Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, when he was still affiliated, he's just around the corner from you.
Garrett, thank you for the $8. Thank you.
Records show that you're up there in Westchester County, and Project Veritas is right there in Mamaroneck, however you pronounce it. And FBI raided Project Veritas headquarters. I'm not sure how closely you follow your local politics and local.
Garrett, thank you for the $8. I appreciate it so much. And
Scandals
Justin, thank you for
like
the
that.
$2.22. I appreciate you, Justin.
But when this information first came out about the Ashley Biden diary, we talk about the politicization of our Justice Department and being concerned about the appointment of Kash Patel. Isn't supposed to interpret those sequence of events and be able to believe that it is not her diary or that its contents are not fact.
What evidence? What evidence do you have to believe that the contents are hers?
It's
Because we have evidence about what she said that indicates otherwise. Well, how do you know that was her that wrote those particular aspects of the contents that specifically say that they showered together?
Do you remember how? I'll ask this sincerely. This is not rhetorical. Do you remember how it was discovered that the diary was missing? Do you know how it
Like
came
how
into
it
possession
was
of the people who
how it came in at Project Veritas?
No, how did it get into the possession of the original folks who quote unquote stole it?
I think they found it at a house somewhere that Ashley
Correct.
Biden
It was a vacation rental.
Yeah.
So, and she contacted them. They didn't even realize it was Ashley Biden. They contacted her, the owners of the property, to say, "Hey, we lost something. Do you guys have it?" And they were able to discover, yes, we do have it. And then they realized its contents that were very alarming. That described the instance
Why
of
did
a
they
young
read it?
minor showering and bathing with her.
This is also
Why'd they read all of it? Why are they reading someone's personal diary?
It was left on their personal property, sir.
That doesn't mean you read it. Like if I left my diary accidentally at your house, does that justify you looking through my diary?
If you left it on my premises and we didn't know who it belonged to, so we opened it to discover, oh, there's a name here. There's association
There's two distinctions there. You can look at the name and find the name. Right, what you're talking about is that they read through the entire thing and they find the specific contents that say this. That was not throughout the entirety of the diary. In order to be able to identify that someone's name is on there, that's not submittable in court. You understand that's not able to be submitted in court, right?
Parker, surrendered property left behind by you negligently does not necessarily make it unacceptable for someone to.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe morality wise, but legally,
no, legally, it's inadmissible.
Under what statutes? Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's inadmissible on the fact that one, it was stolen, right? It was not left behind. Negligence. Listen, you understand there's a distinction between specifically taking someone's diary and holding on to it and going through the contents as if it's yours, right? And holding on to it until they get back. Now, you understand the distinction?
Those of you in the chat, please, let's all recognize
if I left my phone at a store, do you think it's justified for them to go through my phone?
I think if your phone is left unlocked and they're trying to innocently locate your contact information, when I lived out in California, I was out skiing in Big Bear. I had my, it's relevant because it's his exact example. I had my phone in my pocket and it fell out while I was out on the slopes. A great Samaritan located my phone, and my phone, I was young and dumb and stupid. I was probably 23 at the time. I didn't have any sort of lock screen, and they were able to open my phone, contact my girlfriend, and then get my phone back to me because there are good people.
Oh my God. World. Do you not hear the distinction here? Like, Parker's asking about, like, do you think it's justified for them to read pages of her diary? So in the same vein, like if you dropped your phone on the slopes and it was unlocked, do you think it would be justified for somebody to open your phone, then go through your photos, go through your contacts, go through your text messages, and like read all that stuff?
Yeah, let's say you're in a state where Schmied is not legal, right? And it is the case that you have a video on your phone of you doing Schmied in that state.
Oh, right? I've never done any sort of.
I'm just giving you a hypothetical, right? Do you think that it should be admissible in court, right? That video, right? Given that they literally went into your phone and looked through your phone to find it.
You know, that's a great. I like that example. That's a great example. I personally don't know the legalities of it, but what I will say.
No, I'm asking you. Do you think it should be? We're not talking about what is it currently legally. We're talking. Do you think it should be?
If it caught me doing something that was criminally against the law, I would have to probably face the consequences of that. And I know that.
Wait, I'm not disputing that. Actually, I do think that there are certain things where it would make sense. But I'm just telling you, it's currently inadmissible under the law. Because it's not justified to get it.
Parker,
secondly, what I'm saying is that the process in which in which they got it actually increases the likelihood in which there are manipulated aspects of it. Right, because of political intentions, right?
I'm going to walk away from this, not right in this second, but when I do walk away from this, that's something I'm going to look into. I'm not certain about your argument on the legalities of whether or not that would be admissible in court or anything like that. I'm just not aware of that, and I don't think we've clarified it here. But I'm willing to move on from it.
Wait, I honestly don't even understand why we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Like, why did you feel the need to like run away from the points we made about Donald Trump by utilizing Joe Biden, who wasn't even the candidate in the election in which you voted for Donald Trump?
What was the points that you said I ran away from? I'm ready to
like the ones about Donald Trump, all the bad things he did. He was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman.
No.
He specifically bragged about walking.
That was your previous guess. We never dived into that. I know you love to get into that, and I'm not.
How did we get into that conversation? I swear that's how we got into the conversation.
No, sir.
Okay, well then,
Parker,
I know for you it's rinse and repeat on these discussion topics, and I'm trying to bring some new heat to you.
How did that conversation end up happening?
Forgive me, I don't recall. I think we started
you were bringing up Parker brought up E. Jean Carroll, and then you were like, "Oh, well, here E. Jean Carroll. What about Ashley Biden?" And then we still haven't heard from you as to who verified the diary.
Yes, that's right.
The diary has never been verified. But I just want to reiterate that the diary has never been verified. So you're basing your argument and a comparison between E. Jean Carroll's case and this case
it
on
never will be
unverified
verified.
information, which is super strange, by the way. Not a good argument to make. But now we can just circle back to the E. Jean Carroll case and the fact that, as Parker said, Donald Trump sexualized a 10-year-old girl, walked in on teenagers changing, called his daughter voluptuous.
Going back to the rinse and repeat topics, I want to.
It's not rinse and repeat.
Because I say it over and over
Harry,
again.
Can I tap on one more thing?
2 plus 2 is always going to equal 4, man. Donald Trump's always going to be an essayer. So I don't.
Harry, sir, can I tap on one more thing before we get to E. Jean Carroll? So you said it's never been verified. I don't know. Fair enough, right? You guys deem that Project Veritas is not a
it's a right-wing think tank. You wouldn't accept a left-wing think tank as a source.
It's investigative. It's grassroots investigative journalism. I don't consider it a think tank.
Grassroots and dude, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
They're not putting out opinion pieces. They're doing scandal.
No,
expose.
dude, the live just got restricted, dude. Oh, it's because
I
of
think
you.
It was me? Is it me?
It
You
says
can
that
just remove me.
Parker, the
remove me.
All right.
Remove me, and then I'll join on a different account.
Careful, Harry. I like your stream. It definitely has a good tact to it, and so.
That's gone now. It's just Parker for some reason.
No hate on Parker. That's okay. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know what that was. Well, once Just hold that thought for a second while we wait for Parker, if you'd be so
Yes,
kind.
sir. You got to throw some W's to people.
Yeah. Sydney, thank you for the
Let's get some
$20.
Ws.
Sending extra love because I got my bank account back after I got hacked for $800. So I'm back on your favorite pickup lines. I can't read that out, Sydney, but I'm glad that you got your bank account back. That's amazing. Amazing, Sydney. I'm so glad to hear it. And thank you for the $20. And Ruby, thank you for the $100 saying being you. Please throw some W's in the chat for Ruby. At least at a minimum,
Ruby.
100 W's for Ruby. Can you say W Ruby, James?
W Ruby.
Thank you, James. W Ruby in the chat. At least 100 W's for Ruby. That's incredibly kind. I appreciate you so much, Ruby. You're always supporting being here. It means the world. Thank you so much, Ruby.
W Ruby.
W Ruby. You're fantastic. We love you, Ruby. And Megan, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you. How is he saying that the two cases are the same? I don't know. I have no idea. But W Ruby. I appreciate you, Ruby. You're amazing.
Hey, I could answer that question from the chat if that's okay. So how can I say the two cases are the same? To your point, to your part, Harry, that it's never been verified. In the, I'll agree to disagree that on my Project Veritas claim, but my final point on that topic, and I'll move on. I promise. We'll never get it verified because the Justice Department, the FBI, did their raid. They collected it, got it back to the Bidens, and we'll never know. We'll never get to know.
It's not yours to know, quite frankly. I mean, it's not any of ours to know. I wouldn't if I don't want to read Laura Trump's diary.
May I do one hypothetical for you?
Sure.
And it's not to be a whataboutism, and it can be a one-word answer if you'd like. But if the claim were true, if it were verified, and Biden is showering with his 14-year-old pubescent daughter.
I don't think she wasn't 14.
There was no claim of her age.
Yeah, there was no claim of her age.
Okay, let's scratch that. Yeah, hell, worry. But what if she were younger? God, Lord, please don't that be the case. But if she were a minor when this occurred, or golly, even an adult, would you be concerned about that? Would that have you raise question?
Yeah, I think that I think that when you have really little kids, I think it's normal for parents to bathe them.
There's also no
Really small
indication.
children.
There's also no indication that he was naked. You understand that if it's a parent with swim trunks on, making sure that their really little kid is okay in the shower. I don't think that's bad behavior.
If your kid's 4 years old, are you really going to be oh my God?
It's your kid, right? You're making sure your kid is okay in the shower when they're really young. That's common, really common.
The quote from it.
But what about this? What about this? What if a grown man in his 40s or 50s walked in on 15-year-olds changing? Would you be that's really concerning?
I don't support it. I don't condone it. I condemn it. And it did occur.
You vote for somebody who does that?
It did occur with Donald J. Trump.
Right.
I do think that.
But do you hear what you're saying right now? That you have to make up this fictional, unverified story about Joe Biden with his daughter, which has truly been unverified. There's no age identified. And you have to make that argument against Joe Biden. But Donald Trump has literally admitted to walking in on young girls changing, and just standing around and looking at them. And you don't bring that up. You don't talk about that.
I condemn it. I'm not.
But you
I didn't
voted
bring
for
it up.
him.
But once brought up, I did not bring it up. Fair. I admit to that.
But you voted for him.
But once that question is raised and whether I will bring scrutiny to it, I absolutely will. And I'll say if he were running for president at that time, and the time is relevant, I would. Honestly, I don't think I could vote for that man.
Well, what? But are you saying that he only had to be running for president at that time for it to be considered significant? If he's doing it 20 years later, as he did, it doesn't matter anymore.
So another policy by Trump.
That's insane. We're talking about sexual abuse. I have a question. Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
Parker heard it. Rinse and repeat.
Okay, well then give me a response. You should be able to easily give me a response then, genius.
Parker, come on, mate, brother. Go repeat your question. I'm hearing you. What is it?
Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
Would I vote for somebody held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child? No, I wouldn't.
Okay, well then why would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman but not a child? right? Are you saying a 17? If the victim was 17, you wouldn't vote for him, but if the victim were 18, you would vote for him?
You're gonna go. I'm gonna give you my response, and I already know you're gonna go into rape or rape culture and stigmatization when I give this response. So you can save yourself the rebuttal. But what I'm gonna say is that New York, and we're talking about politicization of our justice system. Alvin Bragg ran on. We talk about our upsetness with Kash Patel's appointment, right? Alvin Bragg ran on a campaign for AG that he would go after Trump.
DA.
Or what did I say?
He's AG. He didn't run for attorney general. He ran for district attorney.
Forgive me. DA. You understood. Is that true, Dick Harry?
That's actually, well, it's not true because
no, Harry,
it's not true. It's not. You know why? Because Alvin Bragg also said, "I will follow the facts, and they will take them, and they'll take me where they may."
Well, Harry.
So wait, but hold on. Kash Patel is not saying, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna like follow the facts, and if somebody broke the law, we're gonna hold them accountable." What Alvin Bragg was saying is like, "Yeah, I'm going to investigate the case against Donald Trump, which was, by the way, already an open case. They were already investigating it." So Alvin Bragg's saying like, "Yeah, I'm going to continue this investigation, and where the facts land, I will go there. If the facts lead to Donald Trump, we don't have enough to indict and convict, then I won't bring a case. If they do, then we will." That's the difference.
Yes, sir. So excellent point. Now I'm going to ask you. These appointees are going to go and have to be approved by Senate, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And these campaign people, when they're forgive me for a DA, he has to go before screening as well. Is that correct, Mr. Alvin Bragg, Fannie Willis, whoever?
No, that's an election.
It's strictly an election. There's no.
Yeah, so for Bragg and Fannie Willis, they're elected. They're not elected by anybody.
So, but to their voters, to their voter base, they told them, "Hey, we're gonna follow the facts. We're gonna follow the rule of law." Yep. But and when you know that Mr. Kash Patel is gonna have to go before Senate, do you think he's not gonna tell these senators who are having these meetings with him that he's gonna do the same?
He might, but I think his past comments.
He might. He's gonna have to say something convincing, right?
No, I think his past comments speak for themselves.
He's campaigning to Senate at this.
He's never said like, "Yeah, I'm going to follow the facts where they may, or they'll take them where they may." He's just said
we
like,
don't know what he said behind closed doors to these senators.
I'm just basing off what he said very publicly. He said, "I'm going to go after Donald Trump's political opponents. We're going to target them and arrest them and indict them and whatnot." He also said that he wants to like get rid of the Hoover Building in Washington D.C.
Turn it into a museum. Yeah, baby, I love history.
Yeah, that's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Parker, aren't you and Dean and you folks had mentioned in another live that you guys are heading to DC, but the chat kept asking questions. Now I got a microphone and a platform for a moment. What are you guys heading to DC for? What's that about?
None of your business.
Oh, okay.
The Illuminati is sending us to a particular location so that we
it's
can
not
specifically.
It's sincere curiosity.
It's so that we can engage in specifically getting like adrenochrome.
Neuralink
and adrenochrome and like making us like live longer, because I'm actually like 90 years old, dude. I know it doesn't look like it, but like I'm serious, dude.
Very well. Okay, none of my business. It's sincere. You guys mentioned it, and the chat was curious, but you guys never expanded on it. So I wasn't sure if it was secret or if you guys are making a inauguration day appearance and doing some work from the field. That'd be really cool too.
Definitely not going to his inauguration.
Definitely not inauguration.
Or maybe we do some in-person
clippable material. I thought that's what I assumed you guys were going for, is going to do some asking people questions in the inauguration. But never mind. Back to what we were talking about. Kash Patel, Hoover Building, Museum. We disagree that he's going to follow the facts and the law. And I just don't know. I believe he will, but I don't think it's not a whataboutism, but I think it's no different than the way Alvin Bragg has gone after Uncle Donnie.
Alvin Bragg didn't go after Donald Trump. The idea that you say that he went after Donald Trump even after he already got a conviction. Like he went before a jury. Donald Trump got due process, and Donald Trump was convicted.
I got a question. Did the survivor act
just to be clear, there were prosecutors in Alvin Bragg's office who resigned because they thought that he wasn't taking the case serious enough and that he wasn't moving fast enough on the case. So the idea that Alvin Bragg was just like itching to indict Donald Trump and he wasn't doing it with evidence is just nonsense. Alvin Bragg said, I'm going to follow the facts. And if they lead to me indicting Donald Trump, then we indict Donald Trump. If they don't, then we won't. The facts led to him indicting Donald Trump. And matter of fact, I shouldn't say that he indicted Donald Trump. It was a grand jury of average, everyday Americans who came together, heard evidence, and they handed down an indictment, not Alvin Bragg. And they brought the case to in New York. But this is these juries are selected by both sides, not a grand jury, but the jury at the trial was selected by both sides. And Donald Trump was found guilty of every single felony charge against him.
So did the Survivor Act exist before this trial?
That the convicted or the criminal trial against Donald Trump had nothing to do with the Survivor Act. Did you know that or no?
I'm talking about E. Jean Carroll.
I know, but Bragg wasn't involved in E. Jean Carroll's case.
Correct.
So you're like switching cases here.
Yes, sir. I'm jumping.
Okay.
Not deflecting.
I don't
think
know. I
both
think
cases are relevant to the politicization or lawfare of our justice system.
It's a private citizen suing Donald Trump for defamation mainly,
Prior
but
to
had
the
to prove
Survivor
that
Act
she was
implementation,
assaulted.
would you have been able to do that?
No, not under the current law. But aren't you in favor of the Survivor Act? Like, are you taking objection to it?
I am, but I'll rest my case there. I'll leave it there, unless you'd like to continue on it.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I think that E. Jean Carroll having the ability to do that is a good thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
And so if E.
That's
Jean
a great
Carroll can
point.
prove her case in a civil court and get the jury on her side, then we should accept that verdict, right?
I never questioned the Survivor Act. I do believe it is good. I am saddened at what it took to get it implemented, or what events that they wanted to pursue that made it, now's a great time to implement that by reducing statute of limitations so that
Well, the
survivors
statute of limitations wasn't reduced. It didn't do anything to
removed
this.
it.
No, it was allowing civil cases to be brought.
Civil case, correct,
Yes.
versus a criminal. Correct. We're both talking the same thing. You're more articulate on it. Is that fair enough to say?
Well, the specifics matter, but regardless.
It does. You're right. And I think for us discussing, yes, it's as you mentioned, it matters because the chat is here and that they got to be on the same page too. Which I think I try not to obfuscate, as our good friend Dean says, and that might miss some people sometimes too. They may not know what these big, long-winded vocab words mean. Another thing I wanted to get into was, you know what? The Bengals just won Monday Night Football. It was great chatting with you, gentlemen. And Parker, hey, be good. Stay off that getting kicked thing.
You're a Bengals fan?
No, I'm a Broncos fan. Remember Bo Lever?
Oh, good.
Got that Bo Nix action. You
know what? You're based for that.
Thank you, sir. Bo Lever. I'm a Bo Lever and Bo Nix, and these Broncos are going to make a playoff run. You best believe. Hey, Harry, be good up there.
We're going to take the Super Bowl, huh?
Harry, let's hope. And I know you're a Cali boy, right? So you guys like to jump on whatever team's hot.
No, I grew up supporting the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
My dad lived in Colorado, and I grew up in Iowa, so they don't have like a
I was
specific
born in
team.
Aurora, believe it or not.
Cool.
And then
All right,
Harry,
have a good day.
you're an NYU kid, right?
Yeah.
Hey, keep working hard, and you should try reaching out to young Barron. I bet you guys would be a good team.
Yeah, let's do a
I'm good,
podcast with Barron. Let's do a podcast with Barron.
Yeah.
They,
Bring him on live.
Convince him.
he's about that social media. I don't think it's too far out of reach. I think that'd really drive up some content.
I don't see any connection between us two. All right, man. You have a good rest of your night. All right.
You too, gentlemen. Bye bye.
I don't think he would want to interact with us, but like I would totally have Barron Trump on the live. I'm not trolling.
Yeah. There's no way he would do media.
He wouldn't.
No
that
way.
would be terrible media for him, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he would get crucified in the media if I had a conversation with him.
Oh yeah, that would be like front page New York Times type of stuff. That like Barron Trump slips up, talks about
Barron
Trump's
Trump
sexual
wouldn't
assaults.
vote for his father.
Yeah, right. TikToker puts Barron Trump in corner. Delaney, thanks for the $10. I appreciate you. Hannah, thank you for
TikToker
the
boxes him like a fish.
$15. Yeah, right. Hannah, thanks for the $15 as well. And Megan, thanks for the $10. I actually have a funny thing to say about Barron. Becky, thanks for the $1. Been on a grand jury. You don't know names. That's also a good point. Margaret, thanks for the $50, Margaret. I appreciate you. Can we get some W's for Margaret in the chat for $50 on Cash App? I appreciate you so very much, Margaret. Thank you a million times over. You're amazing. At least 50 W's for Margaret in the chat. Bianca, thanks for the $5. And Yves, thanks for the $1. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. All right, if you're MAGA, let us know in the chat. I'll bring you up. Now, I don't know how, I'm going to say something about Barron while we wait for people to say that they're MAGA. I don't know how true this is, but I had somebody who's in a class allegedly with Barron tell me that after an exam that they took in class, he failed really badly. He got like 45 and like said it out loud, like, God, I got a 45 or something like that. And everybody heard him. And now I don't know how true that is. So please take it with a grain of salt. But I was told that by somebody I know. So fun fact. Anyway, I'll leave it there because I don't have anything else to say. Hello?
I think it's...
Yeah, I caught you early, buddy. Yeah, I caught you early. Yeah. You thought you were gonna say some dumb shit up here, huh? Yeah. You thought you were gonna say some dumb thing up there, huh? All right. Let's put this guy up here. I mean, my God, the guy keeps spamming. Yeah, you thought you were gonna say some dumb shit up here, huh? No, I caught you early.
Can you hear me?
How old are you, bro?
I'm 21. How are you?
I'm good. So why do you have Gavin Newsom in your profile picture if you don't?
For me, I did vote for Trump, and it was the aspect of Israel. That's the only reason. I respect all politicians. I'm not huge on the MAGA side, but it's enough for like just the Israeli part of it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child?
No.
Okay, would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
No, and I didn't like that. And again, the only reason I respect Joe Biden, the only reason I voted for Trump was the Israel aspect. And I personally face anti-Semitism at UCLA, so I saw it really firsthand.
You could say whatever you want, but I'm asking if you wouldn't vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, well, then you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. So you regret your vote.
Yes. Well, first of all, the Israel aspect for me, as bad as it is, outweighed it just in the term. Oh, okay, of course, morally, it's wrong. It's completely wrong, and I didn't appreciate like the insults towards Kamala Harris. Like I really like the walls debate, just because like I like the respectful debates. I don't like them going against each other and all. I'm not huge MAGA, but the reason I have Newsom as my profile picture is I feel like he's a big scapegoat. I'm from California, but I live in Miami. I go to UM. I feel like he's a huge scapegoat for the homeless issue over there. I met him in person. Obviously, as a politician, he's not too liked, but I think he's going to be the nominee in 2028 for the Democrats. But just like meeting him, you can tell he's a good person. He's a caring person. So I don't have any hate for the Democratic side. But the reason I voted for MAGA, regardless of the sexual claims and all that, which obviously is true, I'm not denying that, is because of the Israeli part of it. That's my reasoning.
I'm so fucking baffled. So, like, Trump is a felon. He's, as we mentioned, a sexual abuser, business fraudster, all this stuff. He's, made very clear that he wants to go after his enemies, using the DOJ to do so. He's appointing people like Matt Gaetz, like Kash Patel, who are saying the exact same thing, that they want to go after the political opponents. Donald Trump tried to overturn an election he didn't win. The first president to ever try to do something like that, the first president to stand in the way of the peaceful certification of power and transition process. You just ignore all of that and say, well, I might agree with Donald Trump on this one issue more so than Kamala Harris or whatnot. So that's I'm going to vote for him and completely ignore everything else that Donald Trump has said and done.
No, you're correct in that aspect, but also disappointing happened after I voted for him. Obviously we know he has some poor decision making.
Wait, hold on. He was making this clear ahead of time. Tulsi Gabbard was campaigning for him. RFK Jr. was campaigning for him. We've seen his staff behind the scenes.
Do you see who's head of health for Joe Biden right now?
I forget his name. He actually was a representative from California. I forget his name though.
Yeah. So RFK, obviously, he's Bush meat is not the best decision. But for me, you're not Jewish, right?
No, I'm not Jewish.
You haven't faced anti-Semitism on campus, right?
I'm not Jewish, so I can't face anti-Semitism.
Exactly. So for me, personally, facing everything.
But I don't understand why Trump solves that. Like Trump, all he does is divide. So like if you're saying like yes,
actually, I have a perfect thing to ask him. Yeah. Did you know that he said that if that Trump said that if he would have lost, that it would have mainly been the Jews' fault?
Yeah, I did see that. Yes.
And that if you don't vote for him and you're Jewish, that you need to get your head examined?
Joe Biden said if you're black and you don't vote for me, so it's the same thing in that aspect.
Wait, but did Joe Biden not mean to say that?
Or I mean, did Joe Biden acknowledge that it was bad and then move on? Right?
I didn't see. Did he?
Donald Trump repeated it over and over again that if you're Jewish and you vote for a Democrat, that you should get your head examined.
I didn't see that. So in that aspect of it,
Okay.
I'm more so on the live, not only because I voted for him, but just to see your point of view. And I'm not more in the middle. I mean, I don't regret my decision to vote for him, but just what you guys see, just to get an aspect. I mean, I guess.
So let me just ask something. So you're saying that like you've experienced anti-Semitism in some way, shape, or form, and that's horrific, right? Obviously, targeting anybody for who they are, like who they love, what religion they are, is terrible. But then why would you vote for somebody that does exactly that? Like, not only did Parker just cite some quotes from Donald Trump during the campaign trail, which were incredibly gross, but Donald Trump has targeted immigrants, women, people of color, like other groups of people who have historically been targeted. So if you're saying like, yeah, I've been targeted in some way, shape, or form, then why would you vote for somebody who does that to other people when you know what that's like?
Well, let me ask you, do we both agree on the fact that Trump hasn't went against legal immigration? He just said he
No, I disagree with that.
So I had a thought like that. I was presenting in class that perhaps a lot of Republicans on the side don't like immigration in general, and they cover it by saying they don't like illegal immigration. But what are your thoughts? Like, why, in the terms of illegal immigration, should people that wait in line for so long, 15, 20 years, have people skip the line in front of them?
But hold on, can you answer what I just said to you? And I'm happy to talk to you about immigration.
My apologies. Could you repeat it?
Yes, which is like Donald Trump, essentially. You're saying you've experienced anti-Semitism, which is terrible. But then why would you vote for somebody who targets other groups of people and they experience similar things that you've experienced? Not necessarily anti-Semitism, but being targeted.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't have an answer to that. It's a good question. It's a good point.
You didn't think about this prior to the election, maybe?
No, I guess. I mean, I think a lot of us look out for ourselves, not you guys specifically. But yeah, you make a good point there. I have nothing to say to that. That's why more so I wanted to be on the live, just to get your point of view and on what you see. But
gotcha. Well, I don't even know like what to say to that, honestly. Like,
no, you make a good point. That's why I'm on this live. That's why I follow you.
I appreciate you following me, but okay. Well, anyway, what was your point regarding immigration?
Yeah, so like in terms of illegal immigration, I agree with you that a lot of Republicans in MAGA don't want even people coming in the country at all. But we have homeless people sleeping on the streets that are U.S. citizens. Why should people who are illegal immigrants skip the line?
Skip the line for what?
In terms of just entering our country. I mean, do you not agree that
illegal? There's no illegal immigrants don't skip the line.
No, I'm saying, do you not agree we need to secure our borders more?
No, I totally agree. That's why Kamala Harris proposed a bipartisan immigration bill that Donald Trump and the Republicans killed.
Okay, I see. I have one last question for you. Just pertaining, do you think that, obviously a lot of the reason that Kamala Harris didn't win is that people were concerned with obviously a woman president, her becoming president. Do you think that if Biden would have stepped down those last few months, she would have had a better chance? As in, she stepped down from the presidency and let her run the show.
Like if Biden would have resigned the presidency, would she have had a better chance?
Do you think maybe if she had those few months? I mean, obviously, one last point. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Like, you're saying, just to be clear, you're not saying if Biden stepped down from being the candidate earlier, you're saying if he resigned the presidency altogether.
Yeah, altogether.
No, I don't think that him resigning the presidency would have helped her electorally. I don't see any evidence for that.
Okay, just last 2 quick points and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, I definitely don't see that either.
You don't see that? I think you make a great point. I even said that in my class about how Biden changed his mind. That was a great point. And number 2, the one thing I felt bad for Kamala for, which people didn't realize, is when she was being interviewed, she was being asked, what would you have done differently? And she could have answered the question, but people don't understand. And I even said, this is MAGA, that she's in such a tough position that you have to throw your boss under the bus. And she really didn't have a lot of room to say anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a tough position, but I also think her answer was good. Like, this is something that Republicans have picked on so much, saying, oh, she wouldn't have done anything different than Biden. And my question back to them is like, okay, so in the major things that have happened during Biden's presidency, infrastructure, healthcare, veterans healthcare, manufacturing investments, and things like that, some of the major, like, what would you have wanted Harris to do instead? Like, can you name me individual instances of which you would want her to make a different decision? And nobody can. So it's just like, why? I don't understand why people are so angry at that answer. I think it was actually a good answer, but that's just me.
No, yeah.
And Margaret, thank you for the $50 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Margaret. Can we get some W's from Margaret in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Margaret. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Margaret.
I'll look into it and everything, but I feel like people just look at the last 4 years. They don't look into the policy, Republican, Democrat, and they figure, listen, we had COVID. Biden's a better option. Now groceries are going up, gas are going up, no matter whose fault it is, and they just look at that and they vote for the other candidate.
Yeah, so that's people attributing inflation to the incumbent president because they didn't know that just because there is a correlation doesn't mean that there's causation.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate you adding me.
All right. Appreciate you coming up.
All right, man. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate it. All right, Sam. Wait, actually, first and foremost, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Follow Parker. He does lives all day, every single day on different topics as well. I'd highly recommend it. Also, make sure to keep double tapping the screen. Let's try to get to 600,000 likes. And my Venmo and Cash App and Parker's Venmo and Cash App are in both of our bios if you want to support the live. All right, Sam, you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What a disaster. One sec. Jennifer, thank you for the $10. Chris, thanks for the $5. Vladimir, thank you for the $25, man. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, man. Other than that.
All right. Back to the more politics side. I would consider myself more of a right-leaning person. I don't like to side with a party because I strongly dislike Donald Trump. I think he's a terrible person.
But you voted for him?
No, I didn't vote.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to come in here to just say, I preferred him to win, but as a Christian myself, I can't personally bring myself to vote for somebody like him.
Okay.
Does that make sense? But that's not actually what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, I know Biden gets a lot of hate from a lot of people, and when a lot of people said he wasn't fit to run the country, and that's why he should step down. And you disagree with that, correct, Terry? I remember watching your lives back in the summer.
Very much, yes.
I agree with you. 100%.
So you think he's fit to serve, yeah?
Because someone's inability to talk clearly in a debate doesn't mean they can't make decisions. And that
I think people just have bad nights. I think that was just a bad night.
Yeah, I mean, he's struggled more so than Donald Trump with speaking clearly in general. And that's not a knock on him. That's just kind of how it is. Correct? But that does not affect him as a leader at all.
Yeah, I think, that's exactly my view. I think that that debate just wasn't great. But other than that, Joe Biden has been pretty fantastic. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think he gets a lot of hate. And one thing, I don't know, I'm taking a history class about genocide, and we're learning about the Armenian genocide. I recently learned he was the first U.S. president to recognize that as our genocide.
I actually didn't know that. So you just taught me something. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a research project on it right now, and it was horrible. 1.5 million Armenians killed by the Ottoman Empire from 1914 to 1915. Yeah, wow. Really just the point. But yeah, and I learned that. I was like, wow, that's really interesting, because I guess no other American president did that, because our relationship with now Turkey, who's in NATO, really depended on that, which I thought was interesting. Exactly. I was like, wow, that's really cool to learn.
Yeah.
And then the one other thing I wanted to talk about was you said you now agree that sorry, I got to collect myself here. When you think back on Kamala Harris's previous record, I guess, before she became a vice president, do you she was a prosecuting attorney, right?
She was district attorney in San Francisco and attorney general of California.
Perfect. Yeah, and by the way, her name is Kamala, just letting you know.
What did I say?
You said Kamala, her name is Kamala. If you can't say it, you can just say VP Harris.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
You're good, don't worry.
Kamala.
You didn't do it intentionally.
Kamala.
Like Kamala.
Kamala. Got it. Okay.
Think Camala. Kamala.
There we go. All right, perfect. All right. Okay, there we go. Do you think that? So she's gotten a lot of crap for the job that she did before she became VP, correct?
I'd say, yeah. People have tried to slam her for that stuff. Yeah.
Do you think that she had a good record before then, or you do?
Yeah. I think her career has been very accomplished. Yeah.
All right. So I don't want to just come at you, but in a video you made in 2020 reviewing
Oh man, 2020.
In 2020,
Wow.
that's reaching.
Dude, I mean, my opinions might have changed since then. So and I'm not 100%.
You were
but-
reviewing possible VP picks, correct?
Yeah.
And in a video, and you said that her background as a attorney, Kamala's background as an attorney wasn't good. How exactly has that changed? I guess your view on that, and what might have told you that that wasn't good back then, and it changed to now? Like, I can show you the video. It's in my camera roll. I actually saved it. But
From 2020 is crazy. How'd you even find that shit, dude?
Crazy.
Every once in a while, like I enjoy politics. I just enjoy.
Dude, Harry has like 1 million posts.
I have I think well over 5,000 videos.
No, yeah, I didn't scroll all the way down. I just like looked you up, and then I just scrolled through like the recommended ones, and that popped up, and you were reviewing possible VP candidates.
Yeah.
That Biden could choose, and you said that she didn't have a good background in her as an attorney.
Yeah, I honestly don't even remember the video. I don't even remember what I cited as like not being good for her background. But I think that if my recollection serves me correctly, it might have been a New York Times article of which they were pointing out the pros and the cons. And I was reading out the cons that the New York Times was saying that she possibly has. And I think that they were saying that her record as a prosecutor is like a vulnerability. And I think that's going to be the case for anybody that works as a district attorney and attorney general. I think those are positions where you have to make like really tough decisions.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I just think that like something like that is going to present a vulnerability when it comes to politics, when you're running for office, where you have to appeal to voters more so from a political perspective, not like a legal perspective. Right. So I think that's probably it. But also I'd say like, I think when I made that video, I'm 22 now. I think I was 17.
Oh
so
my
I think I
gosh.
was probably just didn't know enough. And now I'm older and whatnot. So
Man, that's crazy. You've been on here for that long. Wow.
yeah, I started when I was 17. So
Yep, he's been on here for a long time.
like
And then
close
I don't know,
to-
another thing I had is 2028 election. Do you see Kamala being the easy pick for the Democratic candidate, or do you see like?
I think there's gonna
would she
be.
have
I think
the
there's gonna be a
primary?
big primary.
yeah.
Would
I
she
do think
have your-
Kamala. I think Kamala is in the lead right now, but I think the big primary is mainly going to consist of a few people. The main four that I'd probably see it as is Newsom, Buttigieg. Actually, five: Newsom, Buttigieg, Shapiro, like
Yeah.
Josh Shapiro, Kamala, and AOC. Those are going to be the
AOC.
main five that I think are going to run that have a relatively decent shot.
Yeah, I think it's a decent list. I think I put Whitmer in there as well. I think she might run
Yeah.
for president.
Yeah, Gretchen
And I
Whitmer.
also I think Buttigieg might run for governor of Michigan because
That's true.
Whitmer leaves in 2026 and he actually moved to Michigan recently, is now a resident of Michigan. So I think that he's kind of planning running for governor, but I think he could also run for president. So we'll see. But yeah, I think that any of the people that Parker mentioned have a really good chance.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm actually a PA. I'm from PA, correct? And Shapiro, I think he's. Oh man, I gotta think. In the 2022 governor election, Sorry, that's totally a botch pronunciation.
You're good. 20. Yeah, that's right.
Doug Mastriano, maybe. Does that sound right?
Yep, that was him.
He reminded me a lot of Donald Trump just by his mannerisms, but I think that it was good that Josh Shapiro won. I mean, I know somebody who recently changed to the Republican Party who's actually good friends with Josh Shapiro, and my dad got a chance to meet Josh Shapiro, and it was actually interesting. But so yeah, I think Josh Shapiro would be a great Democratic candidate.
I think Josh Shapiro is going to be president one day. I've interviewed Josh Shapiro. I was invited to interview him.
I actually did see that.
He's fantastic behind the scenes as well. He's like a really like intelligent guy. And I know that like people have disagreements with him, of course, both on the left and the right, but this is somebody who really cares about the country. So I would love to see him run for president. And if he announces that he's running for president in 2028, that might be like my number one pick at that time. But we'll let the primary pay out as it does.
Yeah. And then one last thing is AOC, right?
Yeah.
Who is that?
What do you mean? What, you don't know who AOC is?
I've heard of it.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I think she's probably right now the face of the progressive movement.
Okay, so she would be the farthest left, or would that be, Newsom?
Wait, say that one more time.
Would she be the farthest left of the candidates that you just?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Okay. So, what policy or social ideals would she have that would be different from Shapiro's?
Yeah. So, different views on foreign policy. She would have different views in terms of probably things like healthcare, more expansive in terms of healthcare, or like a Medicare for all sort of position. She would be definitely harder when it comes to the climate.
He also is the person that wore that tax the rich dress to like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something that I actually do kind of have a bit of a problem with, but yeah. I don't know.
What's the problem?
I think that, the people who work really hard for their money should be able to keep a decent percentage of it. Like, I think taxing 50% is ridiculous.
What's wrong with 50% at the highest income thresholds? I'm okay with up to 50%.
Yeah, I mean, I just think
effective tax rate, by the way.
Effective tax rate. Okay.
Yeah, if you make $100 million in a year, I'm okay with you paying 50.
Yeah, I mean, I think of it in like, oh man, this is gonna sound stupid. Sports contracts. Like, you're getting, like, I don't know, it just seems kind of wrong that you're making all this money, but half of it is going away. You know what I mean? Like,
you were talking about exorbitant amounts of money. Dude, would you care if you make $40 million in a year and you make 20 million, you still made 20 million. You know what I'm
you'll be
saying,
just
dude?
fine.
I think you're gonna be just fine.
I agree, but like, isn't there other ways the government could get their money other than just taking tons of money from the people who?
So it's either that you're going to tax middle class individuals or you're going to tax rich people. So the reason why I support the reason I support tax the rich is because I would prefer to tax the rich than to tax middle class individuals.
Ow, stop.
You all right there, Kelly?
Yeah, my cat decided he wants to bite me right now. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your guys' conversation. Go on.
You're good.
You're good. We're wrapping up now anyway. So.
All right. Yeah. I'm about finished. Sorry. And yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I have different views on that, just based on my personal views of how things like that work. But I generally think that lower taxes is better.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want there to be lower taxes, who do you want there to be lower taxes for? Because lower taxes for middle class individuals means that or for rich people means we have less revenue. So you're going to have to make up for that money somewhere else. Are you going to cut Medicare or Medicaid? Are you going to increase taxes on middle class Americans? Right? Like, how are you going to be able to fund the tax cuts for the rich? Just debt spending, like what Trump is doing?
So Trump in the Department of Government Efficiency, right?
I mean, what are they going to go after? Are they going to go after Medicare and Medicaid funding? Are they going to go after food stamps?
I remember seeing something on Fox News on Instagram about this, about what they said they were going to go after. I don't know.
Led by the most incompetent people as well, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I follow Fox News, I follow CNN, I get my information from both sides.
No, I mean, like, I think Fox is incompetent as well. But I think that like the people running Doge, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, are like incredibly incompetent. They have absolutely no idea what they're doing.
I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a brilliant person. Now, Elon Musk, he's there just because he sucked up to Donald Trump. Let's be for real here. I think you guys.
So did Vivek.
But he was in politics before Donald Trump. Elon Musk had nothing to do with it.
Well, he just entered politics. Like, he entered politics for the presidential election, but he wasn't an elected official in any other place.
Well, I think it's undeniable he's a very smart person. Like, I think that, like, he...
No, I disagree. His proposal for, first of all, he wants to get rid of the FBI in its entirety, which is incredibly dumb. But he also had this system of, like, yeah, if you have like an odd ending to your social security number, you're fired from the government. And then that's how we rid the government of like waste, quote unquote. And it's like, what is wrong with you? What is ridiculous system to like, first of all, fire people, but second of all, to rid the government of waste. A lot of these people do very, 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 very important jobs, So anyway.
That makes sense. I mean, I think there is a lot of government spending that can be cut. Like, I can't give you specific things because I'd have to go back and look, but I haven't come very prepared for this. But
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But anyway, we'll leave it there. I want to give Kelly a chance. So thanks for the
100%.
conversation, man.
Have a good night. Go Penn State. I'm going to be
go
at the
Penn
SMU
State.
game.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. I'm jealous.
Yeah, have a good night.
Yeah,
Harry,
sure.
Parker, Kelly.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Thanks, man.
Haley,
Have a
thank
good
you
one.
so much for the $10 here. I'm gonna join my phone because I have 9% on my iPad.
Gotcha. Okay. Gabrielle, Gabrielle, thanks for the $20.24. I appreciate you for all that you do. I appreciate you so much. You're incredibly kind. That's very, very nice. Jennifer, thanks for the $5. Sorry, Harry, New Hampshire here. All other QBs are understudies to Brady. Eli Manning is his father. I maintain that, Jennifer. 2 Super Bowls, 2 for 2 in the Super Bowl. I'm just pointing that out. Eli Manning versus Tom Brady. Tyler, thanks for the $2 as well. Wondering if you could touch on third party as a wasted vote or not. Yes, it is, absolutely. I mean, especially in like the last election, like I definitely think it was. Bex, thanks for the $5, my daily donation to the king. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that. That's incredibly kind. And Jay, thanks for the $2 saying for being a Giants fan. It is painful. It's painful. It's been painful for some time. And Jennifer, again, thanks for the $10. Do you have a P.O. box, or have you thought about getting one? I bet your followers make use of it. I don't have one. I've thought about getting one, though. People have asked for one, but I'm not 100% sure how I'd even do that. Courtney, thanks for the $1. I appreciate you. You're amazing. I hope you know that. And Jenna, thanks for the $1. Fly, Eagles, fly. Listen, I have some family members that are Eagles fans. So I'm a Giants fan. I'm meant to hate the Eagles, but like, yeah, some love there. I know. It's like criminal for me to say that. Anyway, Kelly, you're MAGA, huh? You voted for Donald Trump?
Yeah, how are you?
What a disaster. Do you regret it yet?
No, at all.
You don't regret it. Why?
No.
Why'd you vote for Donald Trump?
Why did I vote for Donald Trump? I liked the things that he was going to do. First off, I'm going to start off with stopping people in schools teaching children about transgenders first. Why are you going like that?
Wait, that trans people exist? What's wrong with teaching people that trans people exist?
Well, do you really want your 6-year-old talking about that?
That trans people exist? All it would be is that there's some kids that are trans. That's all you would say. And I don't think they're even telling 6-year-olds that.
Yeah, they are. I have children.
Okay, even if that's true, what's wrong with telling them trans people exist?
Because it's nobody's choice but me as their mom.
What? Okay, so then do you think that we should tell people gay people exist?
What are you saying?
Is it okay to tell children gay people exist?
They exist, but kids are going to figure out they exist.
So is it okay to tell people, right, tell children that gay people exist? Is that okay?
Do you think it's okay for you to tell my son that it existed, not me?
I'd like an answer to my question.
But do you think it's okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay to tell kids that trans people exist. That's all you're doing. Gabrielle, thank you so much for the $20.24. Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
Let a total stranger talk about this and give my son hormones to become a woman?
Wait, you think that because you tell people that trans people exist that they're just going to become trans?
What?
No, I'm going to retract it. I know it exists. It's always going to exist. It's never going to stop. But do you think it's okay to give kids hormones to do all of that?
So when you're talking about hormone replacement therapy, that's something that someone would be able to get access to after multiple years of talking to doctors and professionals, right? Like in the matter, right? You understand that, right? And we're talking at this is 16 years old when people get
there are a number of
access to
steps
HIV.
you have to go through before you can get something like that. Like you have to talk to psychiatrists, you have to talk to people that specialize in this stuff. It's as Parker said, it's only after you've kind of hit a certain threshold of a transition that you would be provided hormones. And
Haley,
that's for any age.
Thank you. And also, people will get hormones even if they're not trans. So there are some circumstances where they will get hormones at 16 even. Or there are puberty blockers. There are cis children, those that are not trans, that get access to puberty blockers because of early onset puberty.
Yeah. Like the thing is that these hormones you're talking about have been used for like a very long time for different uses for different people, but they've been in use for, as Parker mentioned, for somebody that has like early onset puberty.
I'm sorry. I still don't think it's the right thing to do to involve children.
Could you? I think your microphone's a little muted. Could you maybe adjust your phone?
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I still don't think it's the right thing to talk about with children, honestly.
Just that trans people exist?
So let me just out of curiosity, let's just say that.
And I have nothing against them. I just don't want to be talked about with children.
That's really weird. That's really would you say that with gay people? Would you say that we shouldn't tell kids that gay people exist?
No.
No? Okay, so then would you say that someone is against gay people if they were to say that?
No, it's just in the conversation you don't have a children.
No. No, that wait, so you don't so you think it's wrong to tell children that gay people exist?
What? I'm just saying it's not a conversation you have with children. I don't think children really understand it.
Well, like, you have to understand that, like, the conversation that's being had in class is, first of all, not taking place with, like, 6-year-olds. And they're not giving, like, lectures of, like, okay, this is trans people when you're in, like, 2nd grade. We're just simply asking, like, if you're in, like, I don't know, like, 8th grade and the topic of trans people comes up, you think that teachers should, like, deliberately avoid it? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, schools where you go to learn...
It should be left to the parents.
Wait, what? School is where you go to learn about, like, history, about, you know, topics that we've studied for a long time, science, math, whatever it might be. But you also learn about the community around you, the society around you. I don't think it's helpful in school when you're trying to obtain an education to just completely block out a group of people and pretend that they don't exist and say, well, it's not, you know, it's not in our jurisdiction to talk about these people that exist very much. They're living amongst us. They're people just like you and I. So you have to go talk to your parents about that. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
But still, I'm going to come to the point, I don't want no one to talk about it with my son if my son
But
would
why?
actually
I don't understand why.
Hmm?
I don't understand why. Why?
Because it's not a children type of conversation.
The existence of trans people is not something that we can talk to, like, teenagers about?
Teenagers, yeah, but not little children.
So it's not being taught. It's not being taught to little children.
But it is.
But it's not.
But it is.
It is not. This is not like there's no widespread curriculum that says, oh, we're going to, like, teach your kids about trans people.
They put it all over on their TV, on their cartoons and their program.
What are you talking about? Trans people are not everywhere. What are you talking about?
They are. Like, what program was I watching? And they were talking about...
There was a trans person
Yes.
on one program. What's
Yes.
wrong with them being on one program? I guarantee they're not everywhere.
They're not a couple.
Okay, there's a couple? What the
Yeah.
fuck is there an issue with a couple?
Yeah, wait, what's
What
wrong
the
with
fuck?
that?
Jesus
Why?
Christ.
Like, are you okay with, like, a straight couple being depicted in a TV show or, like, a cartoon?
I don't think it has to do anything with couples and all of that. I think
Well,
a
you said
children should
couples.
talk about ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. Like, kids are being taught that stuff. Nayar, thanks for the subscription. They're being taught that stuff. They're not being taught about trans people. But I'm just asking you that if, like, there's a cartoon and there happens to be a couple where a trans person is part of that couple, are you saying that that makes you uncomfortable, but, like, a straight couple in a cartoon wouldn't?
I don't think children should be talked about it.
I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. Like, if you're like, do you think that kids or anybody at any school age can be taught or talked to about with like straight couples?
I don't think any of that should be talked about with children at all.
So it's
Okay,
not being taught to children.
So you shouldn't say that there are, like, couples? Like,
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I'm not even understanding.
like what do you think should be talked about with children?
ABCs, 1, 2, 3s.
Okay, you understand that, like, at 8 years old, you're not doing ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah, but why does an 8-year-old gotta talk about things that should not be taught to?
Because it relates to human life. There are trans kids. There are gay children. Do you want to just, like,
why
completely
can't we-
ignore them?
Look, if they have that, what's going on in their lives, why can't they just speak about their parents?
Okay, you
'Cause they
understand that there are
exist? What the
plenty of
fuck?
parents out there that are homophobic and transphobic and don't, talk about those things, and they have to hide that from their parents.
I'm sorry, I still don't think it should be taught in schools. I don't think hormones.
Do you think that,
I'm
like,
sorry,
there
you're
should
just gonna
be
keep
sex
saying the
ed?
same thing.
Under 18, I don't agree to it.
Wait, under 18? So if
Yeah,
you're
I don't agree.
17, if you're like a
So
senior in high
17-year-old, you
school,
can't talk about it.
if you're senior in high
I
school
never said
and the
talk about
conversation
it. I
in like
said I
a
don't
certain
think
class comes up
hormones.
about
I said
trans people.
Hormones. I think it said hormones. I didn't say talk about it.
Okay,
Why-
so do you think that you should be able to like talk to like 16-year-olds about trans kids?
No.
What?
Not
a
if I'm not their mother.
16-year-old
That's
can't
so
have a
insane.
conversation in class about the existence of trans people?
A 16-year-old, that's crazy, bro.
Do you think that a 16-year-old should be able to have a discussion about like a straight couple in class?
I never said a 16-year-old can't talk about it, but if as a mother, I wouldn't talk about it with someone else's 16-year-old.
You just said it. You just said
Thank you.
it.
I appreciate Sage. Thank you.
You just
Well,
said
I just
that.
want to let you know there are probably 16-year-olds in this live.
And
Zoe, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you.
I'm happy they can make any choice they want. I'm not going to talk about it with them.
Do you?
You're in the live right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But you asked me what was something I liked about Trump.
So also, I don't know how Trump is going to stop that in classrooms. Like, he doesn't control individual jurisdictions and their curriculums. So I don't know why.
No, he already made a video on it.
He already made a well, okay. Well, my bad. Sorry, he made a video on it. So it's all good and secured. What is he? How is Donald Trump going to impact the curriculum of like individual jurisdictions across the United States?
Why do you feel bad for my kids? Someone just put. Okay, so first off, now, again, anybody could be who they want to be. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be talked about unless it's apparent.
So if one of your kids were trans, you'd accept them?
Yeah, sure, I would.
Okay, good. But you wouldn't want them. You wouldn't want their identity talked about in the classroom, though.
Yeah, you
No, I don't
that's
think anybody
like
else
really
talks to
weird.
my children about it.
You don't want your kid to be acknowledged by society.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I never said I don't acknowledge them, and I don't think they're. You know what? You guys are just twisting my words.
It's what you said. You said you wouldn't want the topic of trans people brought up in classrooms. And we're saying, so if you have a trans kid, you wouldn't want their identity being talked about in class. You know.
I just didn't want my kids to talk about it with someone else.
I just don't understand this. This is like such a crazy, like, there's no other, I don't think that there's any other group of people that you'd have this, or any other identity out there that you'd be like, yeah, no, I wouldn't want this talked about. But you just specifically pick on this group of people. It's very strange.
Yeah. Do you think trans people should be banned from the military?
No.
Well, that's what Trump says.
That's what
Do you
he
think
said.
do you think that's bigotry?
What do you mean?
Do you think that's discriminatory?
I never said I have anything against trans people. I just don't think it should be talked about with children.
Okay, all right. But if you're...
Do you think that's discriminatory? Like to ban trans people from the military?
A lot of people are writing to me. Look,
just ignore the
it's my
chat.
boss
Just ignore the
friend.
chat. Can you answer Parker's question? Do you think it's discriminatory?
I never said I have against anything about anybody.
I know you keep saying that, but do you think it's discriminatory to say that trans people shouldn't be in the military?
I think trans can do whatever they want.
No, do you think it's discriminatory to call for trans people to be banned from joining the military?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. So you say you're not against trans people, but you don't want their identity discussed in the classroom. Like, if
and you don't think it's discrimination to ban them from the military. So trans people that are currently in the military, trans veterans, you think they should have never been able to be in the military? Why?
I think they can do whatever they want. I honestly don't care. Just leave the children alone.
Except...
Wait. So then stop forcing Christianity on children.
Why?
Leave the children alone, but force Christianity on children. That makes sense.
But they were
Leave
talking
the
about
children
two different
alone
things.
by forcing them to be Christian, right?
Hold on, that's two different things.
What?
Christianity, transgenders, that's two different conversations.
But you're okay with pushing being Christian on them, but you're not okay with talking about someone being trans. That's it. Literally, just talking about someone being trans is the same thing as talking about someone being Christian. Okay? But you're saying forcing a kid to be Christian is okay, but talking about trans people, no. What? What are you talking about? That's like an atheist. I'm an atheist. That's like me saying I want to ban people from talking about the fact that there are Christians in society. Do you realize how insane that is?
But again, I'm going to explain it. You know what? You guys are just twisting everything I'm saying.
Oh, we're not twisting anything. I'm not twisting nothing.
Everything I'm saying.
What did I twist? What did I or what did Harry twist?
All I said, if I hadn't, I understand. Back to what I was saying. I have nothing against trans. I have nothing against gays. I really, really don't. Be whoever you want to be. I just don't feel like we should talk about it with children. It shouldn't be talked about. It shouldn't be in kids'
Okay,
TV
well, you're not like okay. So, but you should force. It's okay to force being Christian on children. But it's okay to force being Christian on children.
Christianity is a different thing. Completely.
Okay. But why is it okay to force being Christian?
Nobody's forcing anybody to be. I never talked about Christianity with you, and you're an atheist, right?
Yeah, I am an atheist.
Okay, so did I try to convince you to be a Christian?
I never said that you did. I'm saying that you think it's okay to like raise your children Christian.
It
right?
is.
Okay, which is imposing an entire ideology and way of life on a child, right? Whereas we're just referencing the fact that trans people exist. You know, understand that trans people existing, acknowledging that, is not invasive. You know, pushing a child to be Christian is absolutely and undeniably invasive. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I love this.
It's always save the children, but you exclude trans children.
Elizabeth,
it's always save the
$1.
children, but you exclude gay children. Why do you exclude those children? Why do only straight and cis children matter?
What? I never said nobody matters. I never said nobody wasn't.
You said it wasn't discriminatory to ban people who are trans from the military. That's directly discriminating against trans people from the military based upon how we define discrimination. Like, give me a definition of discrimination.
Why is everyone messaging me?
Give me a definition of discrimination.
It's the chat. Just ignore the chat.
Can you give me a definition of discrimination they use?
No, give me a definition.
So, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Like, you restrict someone on the basis of a particular characteristic. Okay? So you're discriminating against people on the basis of them being trans if you ban them if they're trans. Like, that's, like, just logically entailed.
I never said I'm banning them. I never said I want to get rid of them.
You said it wasn't discriminatory. Okay, all right. Haley, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Haley, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yo, Daniel, thanks for the $3, man. I appreciate you. Adontis, thanks for the $10 as well. Justin, thanks for the $7.77. You're amazing. Julie, thank you for the $10 as well. I appreciate you. Jody, thank you for the $1. Sophie, thank you for the $1. Olivia, thank you for the $4 as well. Jennifer, thank you for the $10. Tom Brady's not as good. He's just not. I don't make the rules. Anyway, Kelly, do you have anything else to say about why you voted for Donald Trump?
Why, you guys are just going to twist everything?
We're not twisting your words.
Yeah, at this point, run to your safe space.
Huh?
Run to your safe space.
Run to my safe place?
Safe space.
Yeah.
Like your echo chambers, like the MAGA lives that aren't going to critique your worldview. Because in this live, we critique people's worldview. We critically think. If your entire ideology relies upon critical thinking, relies upon not questioning your belief system, well, then obviously you aren't going to like this live.
But I was also going to say, I do watch you guys every night. I do think you're smart guys. I was watching you on Liam. I was fighting for you, saying that he's in his 50s or in his 20s. Why does he got a picture of you? That made no sense to me.
It's very strange.
I respect you. That guy Liam last night on TikTok Live, I watched you was on it last night. I just came here to say my thoughts, and everybody wants to attack me.
We're not attacking you.
It kind of feels like it. And that's okay.
We're not attacking you.
That's okay.
This is a debate live though, so if you're gonna say something we disagree with, we are gonna go back.
Yeah, like us disagreeing with your view is not us attacking you. I promise you, if I was attacking you, it would be very obvious. It would be very obvious. I promise you, I'm not in attack mode right now.
I mean, look at the guy. He has his iPad out. I mean, look at him. He's playing.
Talk about. All right, let's talk about abortion.
Better download Clash Royale and play it.
You guys are really big on abortions on this thing. How far do you think a woman should go until she makes a decision to get abortion?
I think you should be able to get access to abortion up until sentience.
To when?
Up until sentience, which is subjective experience within human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm for a viability, like with Roe v. Wade, which is 20 weeks, 20 to 24.
I think that's too long.
Why do you think it's too long?
I don't know. I just think it's too long. 24 weeks. It's already got a heartbeat. It's already got a brain.
Who gives a shit about a heartbeat? And also, like, for example, do you think that a family pulling the plug on an individual in their family that's brain dead, do you think that's murder?
That's different, Parker.
Wait,
That's
but why is that different? They have a heartbeat.
Because they're dying. It's done. We're talking about a baby.
Why are they dying? They're still cellularly alive. They're still right. They still have a heartbeat. They still have a brain. No, they still have neurons firing in their brain. The reason why is because they don't have the particular necessary components of the brain to produce a particular subjective experience. That's why we don't consider them to be like at the same level.
You're comparing two different things. We're talking about a baby. I'm not judging another woman. I understand that some women get abortion because they have their reasons. I'm not judging them. I'm just saying, I think anything longer than, I would say 18 weeks is too far for me.
Okay, wait. Okay, 18 weeks. It's still allowing for most abortions.
But
that's also like basically at the point of sentience.
Again, I'm not for abortions. I'm pro-life. And that's okay. I'm not here to judge women. I'm not going to bring them down. I know a lot of women who got abortions because of abusive boyfriend. I agree to that. I know a lot of people who had abortions from rape. I understand that. I have nothing against people's choices. Everyone can do what they want. I don't care. That's not my problem. But I just think 24 weeks is too long to make that decision.
Okay. You understand that. Like the states, leaving it up to the states doesn't actually like enforce your particular position more. Your position is actually enforced more when it is the case that there is Roe versus Wade in place.
I didn't hear your last part you said.
Your position is enforced more when there's Roe versus Wade in place. People aren't just like waiting until like late weeks, like the 18th week, right, in order to be able to get like a lethal abortion. They're not waiting there volitionally. That's just not like a common thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I understand some women are telling me I'm judging them. I'm not judging nobody.
I mean, you actually are. You're judging their behavior and you're saying it's wrong. Now, judging isn't necessarily inherently wrong, but the type of judging that you're doing, right, I think is bad, right, because I think that we clearly, right, don't see it to be murder in the context of situations where people are brain dead for a family to pull the plug. And similarly, prior to the point in which as a subjective experience, we wouldn't consider it to be valuable, right? We care about a future so long as that there's already like a past or a present established. I wouldn't just care about a future of an entity that doesn't exist yet, necessarily speaking, like in terms of rights. Like, are you gonna do you think the sperm that created you was valuable prior to conception?
I didn't hear you. I was doing
conception is the beginning of life. Is that when you start valuing it?
Yes.
Okay. So did you know that the sperm, like 1 second prior to conception, had a potential to continue on in the future, right? Prior to that point, it was going to be like a human being in the future, but that doesn't mean you value it. So you value things like once they meet a particular point of development, which is what you're saying.
I just have my thoughts on it.
Okay, all right. I think this conversation's done.
Yeah. All right, Kelly, thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. You're welcome to come back anytime, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Kelly. All right, I'm out of here.
All right, I'll talk to you later, bro.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming up as always.
All right, I'll see you, man.
Peace, man. Thanks everybody for coming into the live. That conversation was just crazy. Sydney, thanks for the $1. At least you're not a Browns fan. That would be rough. That'd be rough. Jordan, thanks for the $1 as well. Lost my job, but still had to get here and show support. Man, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for all that you do. It's voices like yours that really uplift our generation and open people's eyes to the world we live in. All love and support here. Yo, Jordan, I appreciate that so much, man. Please save your money, brother. I sorry to hear that you lost your job, but I know you're gonna bounce back stronger than ever. Trust me, I have that faith in you. I hope that you have that faith in yourself as well. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for being in the live. Thank you for supporting. It means the world to me. Do me a favor. We have some people live right now that if you want to see more debate lives, you're going to want to go over there and say hi to them. So Isaiah R. Martin is live right now. He's a friend of mine. So go say hi. Amanda Rose is live. Pickles GG. Santana is live as well. So all of these people are great. Specifically, Isaiah R. Martin's my friend. So if you want to go raid him, say Harry Raid. That'd be great. Or Good Trouble, or Pickles, or Mando, or anybody, or Santana. They're all live. So they're doing debates if you want to go talk to them right now, and I promise you'll have a good time. So go raid them. But before you do so, make sure to follow on all the platforms I'm on. All of those links can be found in my bio, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube, the Blue Sky, the Facebook. All of those links are in my bio. And given a possible impending TikTok ban, it'd mean a lot if you go do that and follow on all the different platforms. It goes such a long way. I appreciate you. And Amy, thanks for the $1 as well. That came in on Cash App. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Oh, Kat. Oh my God. Kat, I appreciate the $5. That is crazy. That is crazy. Anyway, following all the platforms. I appreciate you. You're very kind. Yeah, raid those people. What else is that? I think that's it. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Have a great day tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. We will talk soon. Sounds good? No, I'm not reading it. That I cannot read. Like, genuinely, I'd get banned off of TikTok if I read that. So I can't. I literally cannot. So anyway, have a great rest of your night, everybody. I think somebody just said Parker's live, so maybe Parker's going live. I don't know. Whoa, holy crap, the light. Anyway, have a good rest of your night, guys. I appreciate you. We'll talk soon, all right? All right, everybody. Thanks, everyone. All right, everybody. Thanks, everyone.